The bleeding has continued. My stock portfolio had a serious case of Ebola last week and bled out of every single orifice possible. I even had to go out and buy my portfolio this pillow because it was getting in the ass so hard. I mean, my portfolio had a really bad week, but I absolutely love it. This is what we live for. We are finally getting the opportunity to get some really good long-term buy and hold stocks at some discounted price point. EV and growth stocks have taken the worst beating. They've gotten hit with a baseball bat. And the reason for this has absolutely nothing to do with their current value and their future value, and more to do with retail traders and investors getting scared and panicking out of their positions. And this is allowing us to get into some really great long-term stocks at some awesome prices. Discounts are everywhere. We got 50% off coupons to some of the best stocks in the stock market. In 1963, Ford struck a deal with Ferrari to buy Ferrari for a measly $16 million. Henry Ford packed his bags, had a sack of $16 million, and got on a plane and flew to Italy to meet with Enzo Ferrari. The two had agreed on a deal, but at the last second, Enzo Ferrari pulled out of the deal with Ford. Today, the market cap of Ferrari, ticker symbol RACE, is $35 billion. Ford almost had that deal signed to buy Ferrari for $16 million. Peanuts for what Ferrari is worth today. This is a prime example of how innovation and time can send a company's value to the moon. I think EV is in a similar situation, a similar spot to where Ferrari was in 1963. Right now, the global EV penetration rate is sitting around 3%. That is nothing. EV only has room to grow and will continue to grow. The EV penetration rate will hit 100% years down the road. So this current pullback we're seeing in the EV sector, it's nothing. It's just a blip in the radar. And when you look at a lot of these stock charts 10, 15 years from now, you're going to be regretting not getting into this space when this dip is occurring, and this dip is happening right now. The time to act is now. We need to get off our butt. We need to stop being scared, untuck that tail between your legs, and take a look at some of these great stocks that are trading at massive discount that I personally don't think we'll ever see again. The suits, the big institutions are jumping on the short side, creating panic in the market. Retail traders and investors are over leveraged, selling out of their positions too early, and this is just creating a snowball effect. I'm sitting here laughing, giggling, just hitting the buy button because these are some of the greatest opportunities that I personally think I will ever see as an investor. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about some of the stocks that I'm buying right now as I think they're absolutely too cheap. Hyliion. I've been scooping up Hyliion over the last couple of months. Hyliion has flopped harder than LeBron James after taking a fake charge. Hyliion hit pre-merger highs north of $50 per share and has since pulled back by more than 70%. I absolutely believe the current crash in the stock's price does not represent the future of Hyliion as a company or a stock. I started accumulating Hyliion around $17.50, and I have continued to add on the way down, and I will keep buying as it keeps dropping. As I see dollar signs, every dollar Hyliion drops, I'm going to be buying more. The trucking industry isn't ready for total EV, and Hyliion is going to be that middle, that bridge to take the trucking industry over the bridge, and Hyliion's going to be holding its hand with its hybrid solutions in order to get the trucking industry of where it's headed, and that's, of course, EV. Hyliion will be able to use their longer range, their better payload capacity, and great performance in order to market to these big trucking fleets to buy Hyliion's hybrid powertrain solution. They will be building relationships with some of the biggest trucking fleets out there. They're going to have customers that they will keep as they continue to improve their total EV technology. And eventually these fleets will transition to total EV. Hyliion will already have them as a customer and be able to transition them from their hybrid tech to their total EV tech. I absolutely believe Hyliion is way too cheap today and will definitely be too cheap tomorrow. So I'm loading the boat on Hyliion. I have an average price in the 15s and will continue to add if it keeps dropping. XPEV Motors, ticker symbol XPEV. NIO has been the darling of the Chinese EV sector. There's no doubt about it. Investors would rather buy NIO than XPEV, and I don't really know why. They have similar delivery numbers. They have similar sales numbers. They're basically identical company, except XPEV Motors is trading for 1/3 the price of NIO. NIO currently has a market cap of $60 billion, while XPEV only has a market cap around $20 billion. This is too cheap in my opinion. China has said that they're going to be transitioning to total EV by 2035. The growth is going to continue to accelerate for both NIO and XPEV. I'm not saying NIO is a bad company. I'm just saying XPEV is too cheap and it's a great deal right now. I initiated a longer term position in XPEV at $31 a share last week and will continue to add if it keeps dropping. How about Tesla? King Kong, baby, of the EV space. Tesla is giving us one of the biggest discounts off its recent highs that we've seen in a long time. Tesla is not only the leader in common consumer EV, but it's also going to be the leader in solar, autonomous driving, and robo-taxis. Tesla has its dirty little fingers, its dirty paws in every emerging market out there right now, and we're going to continue to see Tesla grow and blast off. And I'm going to be standing on the moon with Elon as he's standing there buying Dogecoin or whatever he does in his spare time. I want to be there holding Elon's hand on the moon. Tesla's came off the highs by more than 30%, and every single time Tesla has pulled back in the last couple of years, that dip has got bought, and I don't think this time is going to be any different. So I think this support area at $500 per share may get tested. We may see some more short-term downside, but if we do see that short-term pullback continue, I will keep buying Tesla. I will be adding to my current position if it continues to dip. I think that $500 support area on Tesla's chart holds, and we rebound and retest those recent highs in the next few months. A couple bonus stocks that I bought last week on the dip, not necessarily in the EV space. I bought ticker symbol VJet. I added to VJet last week. This is a 3D printing company that is much cheaper than some of the bigger 3D printing companies out there like NMDM. VJet is way undervalued in my opinion, and if it keeps dipping, I'm gonna keep buying. I bought FRSX. This is an autonomous driving stock that I added to, autonomous driving, robo-taxis. This is gonna be a huge multi-billion-dollar sector in the coming years as we see companies like Uber and Lyft start to transition away from having actual humans driving their taxis to autonomous driving vehicles. This is gonna be a huge space, and I wanna be exposed. There are a ton of great deals out there right now. I mean, every single growth stock pretty much has came off its highs by 20, 30, even 50%. And I know it sucks big fat elephant nuts to be down big on your positions. You wake up, check your account, and it doesn't feel good to see that red, especially when it happens day after day like we've seen over the last couple of weeks. But just remember the Enzo Ferrari and Ford story. Ferrari was once a $16, $17 million company, but good companies go up in value over time. It's a fact. Just go back and look at the S&P 500 chart over a monthly time frame. Every single dip is just a blip in the radar. It's a speed bump. We're gonna have some turbulent times. We may see some continued downside over the next couple of weeks, but in the long term, it's just a bump in the road, and we will land on the moon eventually. I love all of you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, peace.